What's up, fathers? It's your brother CJ. Welcome to the Divorce and Custody channel for men. Today, we're going to talk about process servers. When you are going through a divorce, you are going to encounter a process server. That is the person who comes to serve you with papers, either because your wife has sued you for divorce or because you're suing her. And this person, when they come, it's important for you to know what to do and how to respond. So with that said, let's get started. So the reason why we are discussing the process server and why it's important, you can say you're going through a divorce and you're both in agreement that you're going to file a divorce. If you file in your state and divorce laws are favorable in your state, and she happens to know that, if she skips state and goes to another state where divorce laws are favorable for women, she can also file divorce at the same time. And whoever gets served by the process server first becomes the one who has to go to whatever state to handle the jurisdiction of the divorce in that state. So if you file and she files at the same time, it means that whoever gets served first gets to go to wherever the other person filed first. And if the laws are favorable in your state, then it's advantageous for you, if you have filed, for her to get served first. And that's the reason it's important, because that's when people start skipping out on the process server because they don't want to be served first. And so number two, there's going to be a difference between the kind of process servers that you use. Now, if it's a court appointed process server, they're going to try to get the person and they're going to try to serve them. But if the person is aware and they're skipping the process server and they are dodging the person, then the sheriff can only do so much. They're going to try to find them, they're going to call them, then eventually they're going to leave it alone. And so if she hires a private server and then that person is going to have energy, they're going to try to find you. They can even skip trace you and find you in different cities and follow you so that they can serve you first, depending on the things that are at stake in your divorce. Now, if you get served first, then automatically you're going to have to start going to whatever state she's in for the duration of the divorce trial. That could be 4, 5, 6 times that you go before the judge. It means you've got to get a flight, a hotel room, you've got to get a rental car, and you still got to maintain paying child support and paying your rent, keeping your job, and making sure that she gets alimony all in the same time. So you've got to be able to know that when a process server has been introduced, you've got to start dodging that person before she gets served. She's got to get served first. If you get served first, then you got to really up your budget, because you're going to be paying a lot of money to be able to go to court wherever she is filing it from. So how does a process server find you? Well, there's going to be some routines. There's going to be places that you're obviously going to meet at. Like, for instance, you're going to pick up your kids from your ex. He can be there with her to serve you. You're going to go to work. He can be at your job. If you check in on your social media to any location, they will look at your social media and see the places that you check into. Let's say your church on Sunday. They will find you at your church and serve you. And as long as they see you and identify you and throw those papers at you, you've been served. And guess what? The clock is ticking. From that moment, you have to find an attorney and make sure that you answer within the specified amount of time. Because if you fail to do that and you've been served already, it's going to cost you. All right, fathers, I hope that this has helped somebody. It certainly helped me once I understood what a process server is. And really, additionally, the thing about it is, if you're going to hire a private server, you got to pay a little bit more money than what you would do, say, a court-appointed server. I think that's the only other thing that I didn't mention. And so with that said, thank you for tuning into these messages. Please keep sharing with other brothers and other people that you think may need to learn what we are teaching on this channel. As always, I have the book, The 10 Things That Your Attorney Won't Tell You About Divorce and Custody. This is one of those things that your attorney won't tell you about a process server and how that works out, because usually an attorney handles that and you don't really know the ins and outs of that, but it will cost you money in the meantime. And so unless you take the matter into your own hands, you will be $700, $800 in, unless you find your own process server and start dealing with it in person, because you know your person, you know where that person is going to be. You can find them. All right, guys, in the meantime and in between time, it's CYA. Cover your ass. pay. How does a process server find you? Well, there's going to be some routines. There's going to be places that you're obviously going to meet at. Like, for instance, you're going to pick up your kids from your ex. He can be there with her to serve you. You're going to go to work. He can be at your job. If you check in on your social media to any location, they will look at your social media and see the places that you check into. Let's say your church on Sunday. They will find you at your church and serve you. And as long as they see you and identify you and throw those papers at you, you've been served. And guess what? The clock is ticking. From that moment, you have to find